Welcome back, America. We're here with Behnam Ben Taleblu, who's the Iran Program Senior Director and Senior Fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. And he's a very intelligent expert on the issue of Iran. First of all, give us a little bit of your background so the audience knows that you really know from where you speak.
Well, great to be with you, Mark. I'm a first-generation Iranian-American, born and raised in the States to two immigrant parents, one of whom had to fled the Islamic Republic. My mother's father, my grandfather, was actually taken to Evin prison. So this is not just an affair of the head. This is an affair of the heart for me. I've been in D.C. for about 2 decades, and for about 14 years, I've been at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, covering the breadth and the depth of the Iran threat to the U.S., and helping come up with policies for policymakers both across the aisle and around the world of how to deal with this country.
All right. It's quite a regime, and you see what's going on right now. What do you make of what's going on right now?
You know, this is a regime that, thanks to U.S. and Israeli military action, is less capable, but unfortunately, because it has survived that action, is more confident. So this is a very dangerous combination. So they feel more confident and comfortable with escalation. And despite the supreme leader, the so-called supreme leader, Khamenei Sr., no longer being at the helm, and Khamenei Jr., his son, and the new supreme leader, being not seen nor heard from in the past few months, this is a regime that is still living with the foreign and security policy of the father. So that means responding to every attack, being seen as closing the round, and trying to drive a cycle of violence that leads to Israeli and American defeats, and that leads to the expansion of the Islamic Republic's regional network and of its terror-sponsoring ideology. And they just recently stumbled on, despite having threatened this for a very long time, the way that the Strait of Hormuz is an international Achilles heel. And like a dog with a bone, they're sticking to it. And in my view, there's no way out but through, militarily, to disabuse them of holding on to this strait.
They think, it's interesting you say this because I've been thinking this myself, they think that they survived the initial attack by our militaries and they're stronger than ever, and God is looking after them and protecting them. And do you think they're trying to wear us down, trying to wear down the American people? They look at our election cycles, they look at our economy, and we seem to be hyper-focused on these things in this society, and they're not focused on it except to take a tactical advantage, no?
Unfortunately, you're right. I mean, time is a weapon that they're trying to put on their side of the column, and they've done this to us not just on the battlefield, but as you and the audience know better than most, at the negotiating table, to play for time. They understand that the political scene in the States is very different. They understand that Donald Trump was really the only president willing to pull the trigger to deal with this threat militarily, to take out the chief terrorist Qasem Soleimani in term 1, when so many other presidents demurred, to put the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, on the U.S. foreign terrorist list, to start maximum pressure sanctions, to at least rhetorically and wholeheartedly support the Iranian people when other presidents pulled punches. There's so many things that they understand to be unique to the moment that they are trying to limp along and get to 2029, whatever the cost, whatever the style.
When we come back, I want to pursue with you, what do we do now? See, I've taken a position for a long time that we should have been helping to arm, identify, arm, train resistance liberators within the regime, as we did throughout the Reagan administration, and it resulted in the collapse of the Soviet Union. Maybe we're not capable of doing it anymore. Doesn't have to be the Kurds. It could be Iranians directly. It could be others. But I don't know how else we're going to destroy this regime from within, or how else they're going to rally the people who've been slaughtered by the tens of thousands if they're not armed, if they're not trained, and if they're not helped from the outside, their boots on the ground. So I want to pursue that with you and other possibilities when we return. We'll be right back.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.